12 discoveries that changed the world forever, from taming fire to mapping the moving ground beneath our feet. Let's begin. Number 1. Fire. The first force humans ever controlled and the discovery that made us human. A bright flicker in the darkness, warm on your face, bright enough to see by. When early humans first controlled fire, everything about life changed. This is the discovery that started it all. Before fire, early humans ate raw food that was tough to chew and hard to digest. Nights were cold and dark. Predators hunted in the blackness. People could only huddle together and wait for the sun. The breakthrough was not just finding fire after a lightning strike. It was learning to make it on purpose. Strike rocks together, catch a spark in dry grass, blow gently. A skill that could be taught, repeated, and carried anywhere. Cooked food was easier to eat and gave more energy. Fire kept people warm through ice ages. Gathering around flames at night built communities and shared stories. Later, fire forged clay pots and metal tools. We still gather around fire. We cook with it, heat with it, launch rockets with it. The first discovery humans ever made is still burning bright. Number 2. Agriculture. The day people stopped wandering and started building civilization. Drop a seed in the ground, wait, water it, and food grows right where you stand. This simple discovery is the reason towns, cities, and civilization exist. For hundreds of thousands of years, humans wandered. They followed animals, gathered wild plants, and moved on when food ran out. Every day was a search. Staying in one place meant starving. About 12,000 years ago, people noticed that seeds from wild grains grew into new plants. What if they planted them on purpose, near water, in good soil? They tried. It worked. Farming was born. With enough food growing in one place, people stayed. They built homes, kept animals, and stored grain for winter. Some people could stop farming and become builders, potters, weavers, and leaders. Villages became towns. Towns became cities. Today, farming feeds 8 billion people. We use machines instead of sticks and science instead of guesswork. But the idea is the same. Plant a seed. Grow your future. Number 3. Iron smelting. Strong metal was hiding in ordinary hillside rocks, waiting to be found. Take an ordinary rock, heat it until it glows, and a river of liquid metal pours out. Iron. It was hiding in the ground all along, waiting for someone to figure out how to free it. Before iron, the best metal was bronze. But bronze needed copper and tin, both rare and expensive. Only rich people and powerful armies could afford bronze tools. Most farmers still use stone and wood. Around 1200 years before the Common Era, people discovered that iron ore was everywhere circumflex euros, in hillsides, riverbeds, and fields. By heating it with charcoal and blasting air through the furnace, they could melt the metal out. Iron was common, and now anyone could have it. Iron plows dug deeper, growing more food. Iron nails built stronger houses. Iron tools cut timber faster. Iron anchors held ships steady. Farmers, builders, and sailors all got better tools, not just kings and armies. We refined iron into steel and built the modern world with it. Bridges, buildings, railways, cars. The most common metal on Earth, freed from ordinary rock. Number 4. Gravity. An apple falls and the moon orbits, and Isaac Newton realized they are the same thing. An apple falls from a tree. The moon circles the Earth. They seem like two completely different things, but one person realized they are the same invisible pull acting on everything. For thousands of years, people knew things fell down, but nobody knew why, and nobody connected falling objects on Earth with the moon floating in the sky. Why does the moon not fall? It seemed like a completely different question. Isaac Newton saw the apple fall and asked a brilliant question. Does the same pull reach all the way to the moon? Yes. The moon is falling toward Earth constantly, but it moves sideways fast enough to keep missing. Falling and orbiting are the same thing. Newton's law explained tides, planetary orbits, and the path of every thrown ball. Engineers could predict where a cannonball would land. Centuries later, rocket scientists used the same maths to reach the moon. Gravity holds galaxies together, keeps planets in orbit, and brings rain down to Earth. One invisible pull, everywhere, always. It started with watching an apple fall. Number 5. Germ Theory. Invisible living things were making people sick, and Louis Pasteur proved it. Look through this lens. Tiny living things, too small to see with your eyes, swimming everywhere. They live on your hands, in your water, in the air. And for thousands of years, nobody knew they were there. Before germ theory, people thought disease came from bad smells, evil spirits, or bad luck. Doctors burned herbs, hung garlic, and prayed. None of it worked because nobody understood what was actually making people sick. Louis Pasteur proved it with a simple experiment. He boiled broth in 2 flasks. One was open to the air a circumflex euros. It went cloudy with germs. The other had a curved neck that trapped germs from entering a circumflex euros. It stayed perfectly clear. Disease came from tiny living things, not thin air. Once doctors knew germs caused disease, everything changed. Hand washing saved lives. Surgeons sterilized instruments. Cities cleaned their water. Vaccines taught bodies to fight germs before they attacked. Millions of lives saved. Every time you wash your hands, drink clean water, or visit a modern hospital, you benefit from germ theory. The tiniest discovery saved the most lives. Number 6. Electromagnetism. Electricity and magnetism turned out to be 2 halves of the same force. Spin a magnet inside a loop of wire and electricity flows. No battery, no chemicals, just movement and magnetism. This simple trick powers almost everything on Earth. For centuries, people knew about magnets and they knew about electricity, but they thought these were 2 completely separate things. Magnets pulled iron. Electricity made sparks. Nobody imagined they were connected. In 1831, Michael Faraday wrapped wire around an iron ring. When he changed the electric current on one side, a current appeared on the other side through magnetism alone. Electricity and magnetism were not separate. They were 2 halves of one force. Faraday's discovery gave us electric motors, power generators, radios, and MRI scanners. Every power station spins magnets to make electricity. Every electric motor uses electricity to spin magnets. The same trick everywhere. Nearly everything electric works because of what Faraday found. A self-taught scientist with no formal education uncovered the force that runs the modern world. Number 7. Radio waves. Invisible waves that filled the air and connected the entire world. No wires, no cables, just invisible waves moving through the air, carrying a human voice across miles of empty space. You cannot see them, but right now they are passing through you. Before radio waves, every message needed a physical wire. Telegraph cables stretched across continents and under oceans. They were expensive, slow to build, and if a cable broke, the connection died. And they could only carry code, not voices. In 1887, Heinrich Hertz proved invisible waves exist by making a spark jump between 2 separate coils with no wire connecting them. Then Guglielmo Marconi sent a signal across the entire Atlantic Ocean. Messages no longer needed cables. Radio brought music and news into every home. Television added pictures. Satellites bounced signals around the curve of the Earth. One discovery turned empty air into the world's biggest communication network. Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, mobile data, GPS, a circumflex euros, all radio waves. Every wireless connection you use is Hertz's invisible ripple, refined, and multiplied. The air is full of voices. Number 8. Vaccines. A country doctor taught the human body to fight disease before it even arrives. One small injection, and the body learns to fight. Diseases that once ended millions of lives bounce right off. This is a vaccine, a circumflex euros, a trick that teaches your body to protect itself. Smallpox was one of the most feared diseases in history. It spread from person to person and could not be stopped. Doctors had no cure. Whole families caught it. Everyone was afraid and nobody knew how to fight it. Edward Jenner noticed that milkmaids who caught a mild disease called cowpox never caught deadly smallpox. In 1796, he tested his idea. He gave a boy a tiny dose of cowpox. Weeks later, the boy was completely protected against smallpox. The first vaccine. Vaccines were developed for polio, measles, whooping cough, and dozens more. Country by country, vaccination campaigns saved millions. In 1980, smallpox became the first disease ever completely wiped off the face of the earth. Today, vaccines protect billions of children every year. One country doctor's clever guess became the most powerful tool in medicine. A tiny dose that teaches the body to defend itself. Number 9. DNA. A twisted ladder of just 4 chemicals carries the instructions for all life on Earth. Inside every cell of your body is a twisted ladder. Its rungs are made of just 4 chemicals, arranged in a pattern. That pattern is the instruction book for building you. This is DNA. People always notice that children look like their parents. Gregor Mendel showed that traits pass down in patterns, but nobody could explain how. What physical thing carries the instructions from parent to child? The answer was hidden inside every cell. In 1953, James Watson and Francis Crick built a model showing DNA's shape a circumflex euros, a double helix, like a twisted ladder. Rosalind Franklin's X-ray photographs gave the crucial clue. The 4 chemicals always paired the same way, which meant each strand could copy itself perfectly. Understanding DNA transformed everything. Police solve cases with genetic fingerprints. Doctors predict diseases before symptoms appear. Farmers grow stronger crops. People trace their ancestors across continents. Reading life's code changed science, medicine, and law. Today, scientists do not just read DNA. They edit it. Fixing genetic diseases, building new medicines, understanding what makes every living thing unique. All from 4 simple chemicals on a twisted ladder. Number 10. Atoms. Everything you can see, touch, or taste is made of particles too small to imagine. Everything you can touch, taste, or see is made of atoms. They are so small that millions of them fit on the tip of a pin. But inside each one is a secret a circumflex euros, an incredible amount of energy, waiting. Over 2,000 years ago, Greek thinkers asked a simple question. If you keep breaking something in half, do you ever reach a piece so small it cannot be broken further? They called that smallest piece an atom, but it was just a guess for centuries. In 1911, Ernest Rutherford fired tiny particles at gold foil. Most went straight through, but a few bounced straight back. Something incredibly small and dense sat at the center of each atom. He had found the nucleus a circumflex euros, the heart of matter. Understanding atoms gave us nuclear energy to power cities. Medical scanners use atomic physics to see inside the body. The periodic table organized every element, and particle accelerators keep revealing new secrets deep inside matter. Every star, every ocean, every living thing, and every person is made of atoms. The same tiny building blocks, arranged in different patterns. Understanding them changed everything we know about the universe. Number 11. Evolution. The slow force that shaped every single species on Earth over billions of years. Every living thing on Earth is related. Fish, flowers, birds, and humans acircumflex euros, all branches of one enormous family tree. And every branch grew slowly over millions of years, shaped by one powerful idea. For centuries, people believed every species was created separately and never changed. A bird was always a bird. A fish was always a fish. Each kind was fixed in place forever. Nobody imagined they could be connected. Charles Darwin sailed to the Galapagos Islands and noticed something strange. Finches on different islands had different beaks acircumflex euros, shaped by different food. The ones best suited to their island survived and had babies. Over many generations, the beaks changed. Species were not fixed. They evolved. Evolution explains why bacteria resist medicines, why crops can be improved through breeding, and why fossils look like modern animals but not quite. It connects every living thing in one story acircumflex euros, from the first tiny cell to the rainforests of today. Every species alive today is a work in progress, still changing, still adapting. One giant family still growing new branches. Evolution never stops. Number 12. Plate tectonics. The ground beneath our feet has never stopped moving and never will. The ground beneath your feet is moving. Right now, at this very moment, enormous slabs of rock are drifting across the planet. They have been doing it for billions of years, building mountains and shaping continents. As early as the 1600s, people noticed that South America and Africa looked like they fit together like puzzle pieces. Scientists found identical fossils on both continents, but nobody could explain how. Continents could not possibly move, could they? In 1912, Alfred Wegener proposed that all continents were once joined in a supercontinent called Pangaea. Nobody believed him because he could not explain how they moved. Decades later, scientists discovered volcanic ridges on the ocean floor, pushing new rock outward. The seafloor was spreading. The continents were riding on moving plates. Plate tectonics explained earthquakes, volcanoes, and mountain ranges. The Himalayas grow because India is still crashing into Asia. The Ring of Fire erupts because ocean plates dive under land plates. Every puzzle piece fell into place. The continents are still drifting. In millions of years, they will look completely different. The ground feels solid, but the earth beneath is always on the move. It never stops.